Hey everybody! It's been a very long time since I did one of these vlog posts, probably like 3 months or something, yeah? I could probably just look back on the channel. I'm not gonna do that because I'm lazy. Anyway, alright, so there's a couple of things I want to talk. First of all, I have to angle the camera up slightly. Because it's cutting off the top of my hair, and I can't really have that. After all, the hair is a part of me, you know, the sloppy fuzz. You probably don't need to see that, but it's still gonna look weird if it's cut off, okay? That's just how it's going to be. Anyway, there's a couple of things I want to talk about today because, well, frankly, I haven't talked about anything, frankly, in recent weeks. And I think it's better if I really just, you know, like kind of just spend like the next 15-20 minutes just talking to you guys, because that's totally what you want to hear. You totally want to hear me talking to you. I don't want to hear me talk to me. What am I talking about? Anyway, first things first, and most important to the channel, I'm going back to my old job. Yay! But the thing is that the reason I'm going back to my old job is because all the people, frankly, who made it completely unpleasant have been fired. All the supervisors and everything who were really bad at their jobs and really nasty people have all been fired. And really just makes the idea of going back to the job more appealing. And also they kind of need the help. So I'm going to be doing that. So the chief question in that regard really is how's that going to affect the YouTube schedule? I'm really not sure, honest. And to be honest, I'm really not sure. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about, like, I'm really not sure how it's going to affect it. Because obviously I'll have less time to myself to like kind of like plan around like making videos and everything. Not that I make plans or schedules or anything useful like that. But at the same time, you know, going to work means that I'm going to be more tired overall. But because the job is going to be much less stressful than it was before, or at least that's my hope, and I have no reason to think it wouldn't be. But because everything's going to be less stressful for me, though, it generally means I think that I'm going to be able to kind of maintain my levels of productivity on YouTube, you know, at least one video every weekday. That's my hope, that's my intention, and we can only hope that's how it's actually going to turn out. I mean, of course, I started another long series now in the form of Mass Effect, which is going to take a very long time because I intend on playing all 3 games, and those are all going to be very long games to play. So we'll see how Mass Effect, you know, turns out and everything. But I'm kind of digressing on that one. Ultimately, I don't think it's going to have a significant impact on the schedule as long as I don't get like really stressed out, because the stress that I was kind of suffering from is really is like the big reason that like the quality and the variety of content towards the end of last year and the very beginning of this year declined precipitously. It's just because I started getting so stressed out from going to my job that I ultimately, you know, just didn't have the energy to put into doing YouTube. The other upside, I'm gonna try that again. The other upshot, of course, of having a YouTube channel, having a job again, I mean, not a YouTube channel, having a job again, the other upshot of that is that I will have money again, so I'll be able to buy some more current games, especially when, especially as they're released. You know, I really, whenever they stop delaying it, I hope to get No Man's Sky, for instance. You know, that's something that that's something I'm kind of looking forward to. There's a couple of other games. I hope to do some more live streams in the near future as well. I actually kind of want to do, I know Skyrim is so old now, but I really want to do another, I want to actually start live streaming that actually, because once like the Steam sale comes around and I pick up all the DLC, the summer sale, Once I pick up all the DLC in the summer sale, I'll be able to use a lot more mods that I've really been wanting to try. I just really kind of want to just do live streams for that. I don't want to do like traditional videos. And for that, I'm probably going to end up reviving my Twitch channel. Because I've been trying to figure out to use NVIDIA Shadowplay a little more. Because frankly, it's just superior recording. But it's not as good though. If I just want to it's not as good for me if I just want to, if I want to do my regular recordings. But if I want to, like, say, do a live stream, record something that's like really difficult for me to record, like Overwatch, Shadowplay is superior. But Shadowplay only has Twitch streaming, and so I'm going to have to rely on that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something worth pointing out in that regard. You always consider. Because I'm trying to look at my own face while I do this, so my screensaver popping up in front of my face doesn't really help. Not that I want to see my own face or anything, but shut up, beeping sound. I heard you. I just think I'm ignoring you. Anyway. But yeah, basically that's the biggest news, because I'm getting my job back. So we'll see how that affects the schedule. As it stands, the schedule's kind of changed up quite a bit. Unfortunately, viewership has changed up quite a bit because of that too, and that it's declined precipitously. Actually, no, that's not quite what it's telling me. It's not telling me that viewership has declined, per se. It's just that it's kind of like hitting like an even point. But like all the newer videos I do that are on Third Age Total War don't have as strong a reception as I would hope. This the purpose of this vlog isn't to complain about that or anything, or or say or really comment overly much on it. It's just an observation I've made. It's just an observation I made about that and everything. Speaking of incomes, I feel like I should also bring up Patreon, which I really have completely neglected. I've completely forgotten to add it to my outro, though it is present in the new outro slates and everything, and in the in descriptions and everything. I really haven't mentioned that much, because honestly, I'm not 100%, like, I set it up, but I'm not 100%, like in English, sure what I want to do with that. I mean, the idea of having the Patreon is a very, very good one, but I'm kind of wondering if at the very least temporarily I should just shut it down for now, and like see if I can't like get some sort of tip jar donations, through PayPal or something going, to get better equipment and so forth, rather than relying on a monthly campaign. I'm not really sure where I want to go with that. For that, I really would like your guys' idea on that, because I'm not really sure right now, because I must admit, even though I started Patreon, maybe a month and a half ago now, I've never been super comfortable with the idea of it. Just because, lots of YouTubers do it, lots of more like slightly larger than me or medium-sized YouTubers do use Patreons and so forth to maintain their channels and their livelihoods while they do their channels. It never quite seemed like it was for me. I mean, it was an idea most certainly, but it wasn't an idea that appealed to me overly much, because it didn't really feel like I did the kinds of things that demanded a Patreon, that demanded that sort of an account. Because the thing about a Patreon is that in many ways it's kind of like it's more, and unlike say donations or donations, it's more of a, it's more of an income. It's more of a proper income. I also understand that dealing with tax law in the United States is not very fun when it comes to it. But that's a different story entirely. But it's a form of income though, and I can't really justify it. Not at the current moment. Not even though the subscriber count has increased lately. I can't really justify at my current size having it. And so, yeah, we'll see. I'm more interested. I'm more just mentioning this up. What? More just bringing this up because I just want to get your guys' ideas on how to proceed with Patreon, because I'm not 100% sure myself. I'm not really sure how exactly I should proceed with Patreon, or with in any way receiving money from you guys, if that is indeed your wish, if that is indeed something that you want to do. Because I will admit, I would appreciate help on that, in that regard. I would greatly appreciate, appreciate getting a little bit of supplemental income, just to get, better equipment, nicer camera and everything, like a proper separate camcorder rather than a webcam, as I just completely mess up its angle, or I don't know, like improving my rig a bit here or something, just doing those sorts of things, that would mean a lot, and it would also help to ensure that I can actually maintain doing YouTube and making YouTube better. Assuming that YouTube, lasts any length of time longer than it already has. But I'm going to stop rambling about that, because it's exactly what I'm doing. And there's a third point I actually want to bring up on a more serious note. I don't, as a general rule, I don't like to comment on things like, at least here, because I do it, but here I don't like to comment on things like politics or morality or religion, or even on a smaller scale, just other people's behavior. I don't like to do that because I just don't think that's what I really want to do on a channel like this. But something kind of stood out to me yesterday when I was going through my usual YouTube rounds, watching other YouTubers and so forth. And it has to do with one of the biggest ones out there, Jacksepticeye, and his video on his Mirror's Edge video he did yesterday. And that when he was kind of going out, when he was kind of like doing going to the end of his video, he said something that did not sit well with me at all, and I feel like it would be remiss of me not to mention it. And that's when he kind of blurted out at the very end that he said the story for Mirror's Edge Catalyst was stupid. And he gave no real reason or explanation or anything for it. He just said it was stupid. And that irked me. That irked me legitimately. Because again, like I said just now, he gave no real reason or rationale or explanation for why it was stupid. He didn't give an actual reason for why he thought it was bad or anything. He just said it was stupid. And frankly, the only conclusion I could come to when I heard him say that is that he just didn't want to hear the story, didn't want to hear all the talking in the middle of the video because it was interrupting his chance for commentary. And that struck me as incredibly arrogant, not just arrogant, but just incredibly rude. Because the thing about it is that, the people who did the writing for Mirror's Edge Catalyst obviously put creative talent and effort into making the story. And I'm not saying, of course, that the story can't be stupid or the story, can't be bad or anything. It's just that when you're a YouTuber, when you're a gaming YouTuber, it strikes me that you have a responsibility to, when you give an opinion, if you're going to give an opinion as a gaming YouTuber, whether you're big like Jacksepticeye or Markiplier or PewDiePie, or small, or smaller or tiny like me, you have a responsibility when you issue an opinion on an aspect of a video game or a video game in general to give not only an honest opinion, but when you give that honest opinion, especially when that opinion is negative, to give a good reason for it. You just don't want to go out there and throw out the opinion that something is stupid or something is bad without giving a good rationale for why it is stupid or bad. Because your opinion can go a long way to affecting, the sales and other people's perception of that product. Whether that product is Mirror's Edge or whether that product is Third Age Total War, or, Amon and so forth. Whenever I give, say my review of Space Pirates and Zombies 2, my opinion on that was honest, but I also gave reasons for why I thought, I thought that, the plot was weak compared to the first game, or why I thought that there were deficiencies in the gameplay, but, I gave reasons for it. Or say when I criticized Empire Total War, in the lens of Darth Mod. I gave reasons for why I thought that ultimately Empire's flaws, were serious enough flaws to really consider it a bad game, even with Darth Mod being played with it. I gave reasons for it. I didn't just say this thing is stupid. I gave a reason for, whether it was a lack of attention to detail or just bad programming on the part of Creative Assembly. I gave a reason. And when I watched Jacksepticeye's Mirror's Edge Catalyst video yesterday, and he just said the story was stupid, without ever having, when he clearly has never really actually paid attention to the story, that bothered me. I left a comment to that effect even on the video, and I don't even comment that much on YouTubers' videos, really. But that stuck out to me. That stuck out to me because it was such an immature and unhelpful criticism that someone who has has millions of subscribers shouldn't be doing. And I'm, and that's just been on my mind. You know, because I think that, I think that anyone who's doing a YouTube channel has the wherewithal to, when they're criticizing any product, be that a video game or a power tool or the services of a company, they have the wherewithal to say that something is, they should have the wherewithal at least to say that something is bad and have the maturity to say why it's bad or why they think it's bad or why they think it's inconvenient. I think that Jacksepticeye has enough maturity to realize that the chief reason he thought that the story was stupid was really that he just thought it was really intrusive, that he just wanted to play a game where he could free run without many constraints or without having to listen to excessive amounts of dialogue, whatever you define, excessive in air quotes there, because I think that's very subjective. But he could, he could express that opinion, he thought, there could be a little less dialogue, or there could be more free running without having to deal with dialogue. I think he's smart enough to express that opinion without insulting the game and insulting the game's writers like that. And if and I guess I just put this out here because if you're running a YouTube channel now, big or small, or if you're planning on creating a YouTube channel, for any reason, and that involves in some way giving your opinion and thoughts on a product, whether it's a video game or anything for that matter, that you should be conscientious of what you're saying and how you're saying it, and whether or not what you're saying is going to be helpful to whoever made the product you're using. Because if you just go out there and say this thing is stupid, then you're just an immature prat, and that's not something that's worthy of respect, in my honest opinion. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching this vlog post. I know that I jumped around on topics a lot there, and one of them was incredibly serious, frankly, but at the same time, it just had all these thoughts in my mind, and all these issues were kind of coming up, and I figured that I ought to bring them up in a vlog post, which I haven't done in a while anyway. And I hope that this was in some way helpful for you, or in some way, or at the very least, just gives you an idea of where the channel's going, etc., etc. So thank you all for watching this vlog post. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe for more other videos. It's not that many vlog posts on this channel, okay? But also be sure to check the links in the description below for links to that Patreon page that I mentioned earlier. Whether or not I continue it, or whether or not I continue it is up for debate. Also check out my social media pages, Twitter and Facebook. Also check out my Twitch channel and Extra Life 2016. Did not forget about that either. And I will catch you next time, as I probably play video games rather than show you my ugly mug for 20 minutes. Until next time, everybody.